This is Smyrna, the place of the second church from the Revelation, one of the 7 churches. After visiting Pergamon, we proceed our route along the Aegean Sea coast of Turkey. Our next goal is Izmir, the third largest city in the country. First, we stop in Izmir Wildlife Park, because it is the first point of interest in the city. We arrive at the entrance, buy a ticket, 30 Turkish lira, and enter inside. Izmir Wildlife Park is a large zoo but designed more like a park, with more spacious and green places for the animals. There is also a covered terrarium with reptiles and a lot of noisy parrots that fly in its green interior. We leave the wildlife park and enter the city of Izmir. The city is large with intensive traffic. Our route goes by the sea coast of the Gulf of Izmir. Soon we arrive to the central and older part of Izmir called Konak District. It is evening, and here we will spend the night before exploring the city on the next day. Now it's early morning. This is the coast of Konak, a long seaside park called Cordon. It is several kilometers long, and there are 2 or 3 alleys that follow the coast. There are modern buildings at the other side of Cordon. This is the image of modern Izmir. At the other side of the park is the Gulf of Izmir. We arrive at the southern end of Cordon. This is the most famous landmark of the city, the clock tower of Izmir. This is the most emblematic point of Izmir called Konak Square. This is the other landmark of Konak Square, Konak Mosque. From here, we enter the old market area of Izmir called Kemeraltı. It is still morning and many shops are still closed. Here you can buy various little things, souvenirs, products for daily use, things to eat, clothes and more. We go to the more modern part of Izmir. This is a nice street with palms on the both sides. And here we can see a book market. Now it's time to explore the ancient past of Izmir. By our car we go to the Archaeological Museum. In the first floor, we can see many ancient statues from Greek and Roman origin. And in the second floor, we see a lot of smaller artifacts like pottery, coins, and more. Now we're back to the market streets of Kemeraltı, and our goal is the most important point of Izmir, the ancient Smyrna Agora. This is the origin of Izmir, the ruins of Smyrna. This is Smyrna, the place of the second church from the Revelation, one of the 7 churches, where we read the message from Jesus to John, to the Christians here that we live in this place. From all of the 7 churches, Smyrna is the only city that has been constantly living and haven't disappeared. Unlike the other cities, Pergam, Ephesus, Thyatira, and the other cities of the 7 churches, now they are all in ruins. But Smyrna is constantly living until today. And now this is the big city of Izmir, the third largest city in Turkey. What we see here is only the Agora, the center of the ancient city. Actually, there has been the so-called Old Smyrna that existed from about 3000 years before Christ to about 500 years before Christ, but it was destroyed. Its ruins can be found about 8 kilometers north from here. And what we see here is the new Smyrna on a new location. We enter the Basilica of Smyrna, a large building used for public purposes during the Roman times. Most of it is like tunnels covered by arcs. In the 1st century AD, the Christianity was first spread around the Roman Empire, and there were hundreds of churches at that time, just Christian fellowships established around the empire. Then, at the end of the 1st century, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus, Saint John, was exiled on the island of Patmos, today in Greece. On this island, he received the most famous prophecy about the future, the Apocalypse, written in the book of Revelation. A part of this prophecy is the messages from Jesus to 7 churches that he chose, among all other existing churches at that time. All of them were located in the Roman province of Asia, and the church of Smyrna was one of them. The message from Jesus says that the Christians here were poor because they were rejected by the pagan society of the city, but in spirit they were rich. They were also rejected and slammed by the local Jews, and it was an additional burden to them. Finally, they had to pass through a persecution. The best-known leader of Smyrna church was Polycarp, who was killed in the middle of the 2nd century, just because he refused to worship the Roman emperor. In his message to the church of Smyrna, Jesus talks about death and resurrection. Just like the old Smyrna died and was resurrected in the new location, the Christians who remain faithful to Jesus will be resurrected. And this message is not only for the Christians of Smyrna, but it is a prophecy for all the churches in the following centuries that would be in the similar situation, a part of the book of Revelation. We go to the upper level of the Agora. Here the most important points are the colonnade and the Ark of Faustina, the wife of the emperor who repaired the city after a devastating earthquake. In the next centuries, the Agora was abandoned, but the citizens extended the city around it until it became the modern Izmir. Now we are in the Cultural Park. It is a nice place for relax, with 2 small museums inside. This is the last place that we explore in Izmir during this trip. Our next destination is Alaçatı, one of the most beautiful towns in Turkey, located in Çeşme Peninsula. Follow us further in this trip to see more of the beauties of Western Turkey and subscribe to our channel Journey Beyond the Horizon for more video journeys.